These four scams have stolen over $3 billion from seniors in the last year alone. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot them before you lose everything. All right, so here's the thing, and I want you to really pay attention to this because this is not some theoretical problem that might happen to you. This is happening to seniors right now, literally as you're watching this video. In fact, if you've been alive for more than 65 years and you're connected to the internet or you have a phone, you've probably already gotten a call, a text, or an email from one of these scammers pretending to be from the Social Security Administration or the IRS. And the scary part? Most people don't even realize they're being scammed until it's way too late. We're talking thousands of dollars gone, sometimes tens of thousands, and that's money you might never get back. So today, I'm breaking down the 4 most dangerous scams that are specifically targeting seniors like you, and I'm going to show you exactly how these criminals work so you can protect yourself and the people you love. Let's jump right into the first scam. And this one is absolutely devastating because it's so convincing. The scammers call you, and they're using what's called spoofing technology, which basically means they can make their phone number look like it's actually coming from the Social Security Administration. So you see Social Security Administration pop up on your caller ID, and your natural instinct is to pick up the phone because you think it might be something important related to your benefits. The person on the other end has this calm, professional voice, and they tell you that there's been some kind of problem with your Social Security account. They might say your number has been suspended, or there's been fraud detected, or there's a warrant out for your arrest because of unpaid taxes or criminal activity. Now, this is where they really hook you in. They create panic. They say, "Sir or ma'am, we need to act immediately, or we're going to have to freeze your account permanently." And because you're panicked and confused, they ask you to verify some information. But here's what's actually happening. They're getting you to confirm your Social Security number, maybe your date of birth, perhaps even banking information. In some cases, they go even further and convince you to wire money or buy gift cards as a way to resolve the issue or settle the debt. The real Social Security Administration will never ever call you out of the blue asking for personal information. They won't threaten you with arrest. They won't ask for wire transfers or gift cards. That's not how government agencies work. But because the call looks legitimate on your phone, because the person sounds authoritative, and because they're creating this sense of urgent danger, seniors are falling for this constantly. And once they hand over that information or send that money, it's often gone for good because they're wiring it to accounts controlled by international criminal organizations. Now, the second scam is very similar, but it comes from people pretending to be the IRS instead of Social Security. This one hits particularly hard during tax season, but honestly, it happens all year round. The scammer calls and says they're from the IRS and they've detected a problem with your tax return. Maybe they say you owe back taxes, or there's a discrepancy, or you claimed something you shouldn't have. Again, they create that sense of immediate danger. They might mention the word arrest. They might talk about liens on your property. They might say that law enforcement is going to get involved if you don't act right now. And then they demand payment. They'll say, "We need you to go to Target right now and buy iTunes cards," or "We need you to go to Walmart and wire money through MoneyGram," or "We need your credit card information so we can process this fine immediately." And this is where it gets really insidious. Many seniors comply because they've been taught their whole lives to respect authority and to follow government instructions. They think, well, I should just pay this if the IRS says I owe it. So they go out, they buy the cards, they wire the money, and by the time they realize what happened, the money is completely untraceable. The real IRS will never demand immediate payment over the phone. They will never threaten you with arrest without giving you multiple opportunities to work things out legally. They will never ask for gift cards or wire transfers. They send letters first. They give you time to respond. They have due process. But scammers know that seniors grew up respecting these institutions, so they exploit that psychological vulnerability. The third scam I want to tell you about is actually even more sneaky, because it happens quietly, without you even knowing it's happening. This is what we call medical identity theft, targeting seniors through robocalls. These scammers call pretending to be from Medicare or your local hospital or a pharmacy, and they say there's been an issue with your prescription or your health insurance coverage has expired, or they need to verify your medical information to process a claim. What they're really doing is trying to get your Medicare number, your Social Security number, and any other personal health information they can use to commit medical fraud. Once they have that information, they can use your identity to file false insurance claims, order medical equipment in your name, get prescriptions filled, and ultimately run up huge bills that either get charged to you or get charged to Medicare, which hurts everyone's healthcare system. This one is particularly dangerous for seniors because as we get older, we do need to interact with Medicare and hospitals more often, so getting a call about a medical issue seems normal and reasonable. You might not be as suspicious because you actually do have legitimate medical appointments and insurance claims going on. But here's what you need to know. Legitimate Medicare representatives will never call you unsolicited asking for sensitive information. Your real hospital will never call you out of the blue demanding your social security number. Real companies in the medical field have your information already. They don't need to call and ask for it. And if they do need to verify something, they'll send you official paperwork or direct you to call them back at a number you can verify independently. The problem is that by the time seniors realize they've been scammed, their identity has been stolen, claims have been filed, and straightening out the mess takes months of frustration and stress. The fourth scam that's absolutely devastating right now is what's called the grandparent scam, and it's different from the others because it's not necessarily coming from someone pretending to be a government agency. Instead, the scammer calls you pretending to be your grandchild, or sometimes a lawyer representing your grandchild, and they tell you that your grandchild is in serious trouble. They're in jail, they've been in a car accident, they're being held hostage, they're in the hospital and need surgery, something dramatic and frightening. Then they say, "Grandma, Grandpa, please don't tell your parents or anyone else because it will make things worse. I'm so embarrassed, but I need you to send me money right away. I need you to go wire me $5,000 or $10,000, whatever you can." And because you love your grandchild, because you're panicked and scared, you do it. You go to the bank, you wire the money, you buy gift cards, you do whatever they ask because your instinct is to protect your family. What makes this scam especially cruel is that it preys on the deepest, most natural love that a grandparent has for their grandchildren. By the time you realize what happened, the money is gone, and you have to make that terrible call to your family to tell them that you got scammed. The best way to protect yourself from this one is to have a code word set up with your grandchildren ahead of time, a word that they would use in any real emergency, so you know it's actually them. If someone calls claiming to be your grandchild and they don't know the code word, you hang up and you call your grandchild directly to make sure they're safe. So now that you understand how these four scams work, let me give you the actual protective strategies that will keep you safe. First of all, remember that the government will never call you first. The IRS, Social Security, Medicare, they communicate through official mail. They don't cold call people. So if you get an unsolicited call from someone claiming to be from any government agency, you can almost certainly assume it's a scam. If you're concerned that it might be legitimate, hang up, don't press any buttons, don't give any information, and call the actual agency using a number you find independently. Look it up on their official website. Don't use a number the caller gives you. Second, real government agencies and legitimate companies will never ask for payment through gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency. That's basically a universal sign of a scam. Legitimate businesses have secure ways to handle payments, and they don't need you to go buy iTunes cards. Third, never give out your social security number, date of birth, banking information, or Medicare number to anyone who calls you without you initiating the call. If you're even slightly unsure, ask for a callback number, hang up, and verify independently. Fourth, if you're dealing with your taxes or Social Security, it's worth having a trusted family member or even a financial advisor or accountant who you can run things by before you do anything. Sometimes just having a second opinion from someone you trust can protect you from these scams. Fifth, and this is really important, set up a code word with your grandchildren if you haven't already. Make it something random and memorable that only you would know. That way, if someone calls claiming to be your grandchild with an emergency, you have a way to verify it's actually them. And finally, don't be embarrassed if you almost fell for one of these scams, or if you did fall for one. These are professional criminals who have researched exactly how to push your buttons and exploit your natural instincts and your trust in authority. There's no shame in that. What matters is that now you know what to look for, and you can take these precautions to protect yourself moving forward. Report any scams you encounter to the Federal Trade Commission at reportfraud.ftc.gov, or you can call the IRS Inspector General's hotline to report IRS scams. These reports help law enforcement track down the criminals and stop them from targeting more people. You've got this, and you're going to be careful from now on.